This is Mark Strassman with Etopia Media Entertainment News Network. We're about to speak to Dmitry Shapiro, who's the founder and CEO of Veoh. Welcome to Etopia Media's Entertainment News Network.
Thank you.
And as you speak up, everyone will be able to hear you. Tell us your motivation for creating Veoh.
Well, obviously Veoh is a business, so there's a tremendous amount of business motivation, but, for the most part, the endeavors that I choose to pursue always have to be personal, and so my motivation here has been somewhat complex. I grew up in Russia and found the world of very restricted media, and figured out that world wasn't a very good world to live in, and came to the United States where our media is less restricted, but yet is still controlled by the privileged few. And so I've always wanted to create a kind of democratized medium, and that's what we've tried to do with Veoh, which is to create a free speech medium that allows anyone to broadcast television. And we believe that fundamentally changes everything in the world, everything from commerce and traditional entertainment media, all the way to political processes, to all other aspects of our lives.
Why don't we talk a little bit about the political process? So much of it involves collecting money from big corporate or high wealth individuals to buy television advertising, and the debates, such as they are about issues, are conducted through expensive television campaigns. How do you expect Veoh might change that, and how could candidates or issue-oriented groups use your system to democratize the process specifically?
Well, I think your point is the biggest point there, which is you no longer have to go to special interest groups to pander to them to try to get enough capital to be able to have a serious run at political office, because of this democratized medium and no cost associated with broadcasting and no limitations on the amount of space that you get. So the amount of time you can spend in front of the audience, it allows for true long-form discussion of issues. If you want to publish, if you're a third party, let's say you're a Libertarian Party or a Green Party, and you want to publish your 3-hour debate on Social Security reform or foreign policy, you can actually do that today. You can make that available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to anyone with an interest in seeing your point of view, and that's never existed. Content's always been fleeting. There's been a short amount of time for it, and that's been the explanation by a lot of candidates of the reason that they cannot get a clear answer to you, but you get a lot of convoluted political play. With Veoh, you can actually demand that the answers that you get are valid, because there is no more limitation on slots, and you can because it's unregulated, you can choose to have more radical points of view, which never really have capability of getting on television.
Okay, talk about how Veoh compares to Google, RSS, and BitTorrent.
Okay, different for all of those. So on the Google side, Google is a search engine first and foremost.
Google Video.
Yeah, I understand. And so, but because they are a search engine for their primary business model, their way of dealing with video is in a similar way. They allow you to upload video, and then they give you kind of a search-based interface for being able to find the video. We believe that's really not the way people want to consume television. We believe people want to consume television by television being pushed to them, but pushed to them intelligently. And so we're working on capabilities to provide a Mark channel, a Dmitry channel, a Sam channel, and then that content is pushed to you. Google is very much about you going there, putting in a keyword, searching for video, bringing up a number of results, and having you sit in front of the computer, click links, and watch videos while there. Very different way of looking at video, and so I think a very different system. RSS is a way, it's really not even a system, but it's a protocol, it's a way of you to be able to subscribe to videos that are typically hosted on people's websites. The big problem with that is that people that host videos on their websites always put little short versions and in very small windows. So these very highly pixelated versions of their videos, because the costs of distributing high-quality video are too great. And so because we eliminate those costs and allow them to distribute really an infinite amount of high-quality video, you can think of us as being an Uber RSS. You no longer need to deal with things like RSS. You can simply go to Veoh, find the stuff that you want to watch, push a button, say, get this for me every time that a new episode is published, and you're done there. And the third one, BitTorrent, is a peer-to-peer system. Unfortunately, even though the system is built to be a very good system, unfortunately it's built with no controls in it. And so it's overrun with a lot of piracy. It's used often to pirate movies, music, and software. And it's a technical system. It requires kind of a lot of technical knowledge to be able to use. And unfortunately, most of the things that system is used for are inappropriate. We take a very strong stance against content piracy. And so within our system, you find videos that are legitimate and are supposed to be there. And so you never have to worry about being sued by the RIAA or the MPAA. You're not going out and pirating video. You're getting video that the publisher wants you to get. And so that's a big key component. And of course, again, from the standpoint of making it much more like television, easy to use without you having to figure out how to use something like a BitTorrent, there's a clear difference there as well.
How is Veoh going to be a killer app that will encourage more broadband usage, more software purchases, more hardware upgrades?
Mm-hmm. Well, most people that have purchased PCs over the last 4 or 5 years really have no need of upgrading those PCs. They use them for doing spreadsheets, for doing some photos here and there, and for browsing the web. And so unfortunately for companies like Microsoft and Intel and Western Digital, these manufacturers of equipment and software, most people don't need to upgrade their computers. So Veoh is a killer application that gets people to realize that, hey, I need a faster processor, I need more disk space, I want a bigger broadband internet connection, I no longer want to deal with dial-up for sure, I want broadband, and even more so, I may be willing to pay more for broadband to get a faster connection. So we offer opportunities to all of those companies and service operators to kind of drive their business models. We have a lot of friends in all kinds of high places, I guess is a good way to put it.
Talk about collaborative filtering as it occurs on Veoh and other social elements of the program.
Mm-hmm. We believe collaborative filtering is really the key to being able to allow you to serendipitously discover content. Today, users discover most of their content through water cooler conversations, through friends recommending content. For example, I really didn't hear about Lost till the first season was over and the second season was underway because I'm busy and I spend my time in places where people don't watch that show. But with Veoh and social networking wrapped around it, content recommendations spread very quickly. And so people can discover content very quickly, and the tracking of that and the capability to kind of use that information to drive some intelligence allows us to do something known as collaborative filtering, which says, Dmitry may like this. Think of it very much as recommendations that Amazon gives you when you're shopping at Amazon. It says, if you bought this, you may like this. And so we're using similar types of technologies to be able to recommend video content to you and to let you serendipitously discover that video content.
How about a live capability for the system?
Today there is no live capability, but there is a short delayed capability, if you will. So as soon as you produce the content, you can upload it to Veoh, and that content is available immediately. So it's really not good for things like sports, real-time sports. If you want to know the score of the game as it happens, Veoh is not the right system to use for that. But if you don't mind watching the game delayed by half an hour, then Veoh is a great platform for that.
Net neutrality means that a phone company isn't going to be able to interfere with the process that you've outlined here. What's your view on how important that is, and what forces might remove it, and what are you doing to make sure it remains?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's very important. I think it's important not only for Veoh. I think it's important for the general world. I think it's important for media to be a free medium, free from regulation and free from cost barriers that restrict individuals from voicing their their views and opinions. It is the foundation of free speech, and I believe there is no stronger medium than video for free speech, and therefore I believe that medium specifically needs to be free and unregulated. I think there are a number of forces, typically forces that are afraid of change, and incumbents that want to prevent people from communicating, but I personally think they have no chance of being able to succeed in that. I think that the world naturally will continue to make sure that content is made available to the masses from producers.
What impact do you expect Veoh will have on legacy traditional cable and broadcast television?
I think we're a great augmentation. I often get asked if Veoh is a replacement for cable operators, and should cable operators be running for the hills. I think that's a silly notion. Cable operators and satellite operators provide a great service, and will continue to provide that service. What Veoh is really aimed at is extending those types of capabilities to allow for us to use this technology that has an unlimited number of time slots and an unlimited number of channels to allow other people to coexist in those types of mediums. And so,
you've got 20 seconds left. Tell us why people should get involved with Veoh.
I think it's the most exciting thing that's happened in media since really the invention of the World Wide Web. What the World Wide Web did for print broadcasting is what Veoh does for television broadcasting, and that fundamentally changes the world.
Thanks very much. Yes, thanks for talking to us today on Etopia Media Entertainment News Network.
Take care.